Hello and welcome to this new episode of Travels Tête-à-Tête. Today I interview Primrose from South Africa. As a biology and chemistry teacher, Primrose has found opportunities to work in countries as diverse as China and currently Qatar. The perfect trip to satisfy her passion to discover the world. She is currently on the path to switch careers and to become a personal trainer, but that does not prevent her from being on the road to gather experiences. The more extreme, the better. Enjoy this episode. And welcome to a new episode of Travels Tête-à-Tête. Today I'm interviewing Primrose from South Africa. Hello Primrose.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Primrose, can you introduce yourself, please?
Of course, my name is Primrose and I am from South Africa. I'm a teacher by profession. I'm also a scientist, but never really done anything sciencey. So I've been teaching for the past 8 years and I'm changing jobs at the moment to be a personal trainer. So we'll see how that goes for me. Yeah.
Can you tell us what brings you to Valencia?
Nothing specific. That's what I do when I travel. I just go to a place and then I see what's there and I just go with the flow. Honestly, yeah. My plan was to come to Spain and go to Barcelona, obviously, to see my friend for starters, and after that I had no plans at all. Yeah.
So you travel solo, right? Have you always traveled solo, or it's something which is new to you?
I've traveled over 20 countries and I'm always alone. Yeah.
Is it something? So you don't like to travel with other people?
It's not I don't want to. It's just because if I plan a trip and maybe I do not have anyone available, I have to wait on them and I can never get anything done basically. So for me, it's natural to just plan a trip and just go by myself, and I'll make friends there like I always do. So yeah.
So I found you through Couchsurfing, and I noticed in your profile that you say you are a very last-minute person. So how does it work for you to prepare for a trip?
That's a very good question. I think also that's another reason why I'd rather just travel solo, because I don't really plan. The first thing I do is to book my tickets, obviously, and my accommodation, and then afterwards I have nothing. So I would assume that if I have to make plans with a friend, they'll get irritated, So it's okay for me. It's really spontaneous is what goes for me. So yeah.
Also, you have a very broad list of countries where you have visited. What attracts you to particular destinations?
Firstly, I'll say nature. I've told you that if I choose a country, at first, I wouldn't know anything about a country. I just choose Spain. I was I'm gonna go to Spain, But once I've booked my ticket, then I'll check what's in Spain in terms of nature, the sea, waterfalls, and any adrenaline activity. So yeah.
Also, you're based right now in Qatar, if I'm right. How does this location influence your travels? Because when you're in Europe, okay, you tend to travel mostly to Europe because it's easier. When you're in Qatar, do you find more Asian destinations usually?
I don't think it does influence my travel as much, because since I've been in Qatar, I've been in Latin America, which is very far. I'm in Europe right now, it's not that close, and also I've been in Asia, and sometimes I do go home in South Africa, so the distance does not really matter. If I want to go somewhere, I'd go. It doesn't matter where I'm at, so yeah.
Let's get back to the beginning. So, can you remember your first travels, your first travel solo, for example?
Okay, so obviously when I left home, I left for work, so does that count as traveling, or I don't know, but I think that's what obviously motivated me to travel. Yeah, when I left home, which was 2017, that was my first time going outside my country, and I went to China to work there, and I think obviously it was a shock. It's so different from home, and the people are different, and the culture, almost everything was different, and it just kind of got my attention to see that the world is so broad and there's so much that I'm not used to, and there's so much that I can learn. And so that's another thing also when I travel, I do try so much to make friends with the locals, so I can just listen to other people's stories, and it kind of like motivates me to go on in life.
How do you manage to make friends with locals? Because I guess you are using a lot couchsurfing. Is there also other ways you manage to get into contact with them and to break some friendships?
Well, obviously, like couch surfing is my first base. Like, I would write my trip there, and then obviously people will see that I'm there, and I would, if I'm open for hangouts, then that day I'll meet someone or like a group. But sometimes I do find friends when I book trips on Airbnb. Like, normally, if it's like a group trip, then I'll definitely make friends, and maybe I'll plan the next day with them, and that's just how I get along with people. Yeah.
You live also in Turkey, right? So China, Turkey, Qatar, and other countries, of course. Okay, that may be a bit polemical, but what was the most hospitable people you found in your travel? Most hospitable country where you felt almost at home?
I think I have two answers for this. I'll say Brazil. Maybe it's because it felt like home. I think also because of like maybe the nature and stuff, I could relate more like home, and the people were friendly and nice. Like, I felt like I belong here. But also, I think on the other side, I would say that when I was in Jordan, because I was stuck for COVID for like 6 months in Jordan, and I obviously did not know anyone, and I had a flat on Airbnb. My landlord was really nice, and like whenever they would have like times to go out and stuff, he would advise me on what to do. And when I'm outside, people will be friendly to me, like actually willing to help me because they knew that I'm stuck and there's nothing that I could do. So I think like I'll forever remember Jordan. Yeah.
So you also describe yourself as an adrenaline chaser, right? You like sports, you like activities, outdoor activities. So I'm going to say some activities like this, and you say yes or no, and where and when you did it. Okay? For example, skydiving.
I've skydived 3 times. The first one was in Brazil, and the second one was at home in South Africa, and the third one was in the Philippines.
What about jet ski?
Jet ski, it's actually boring for me. I'm sorry. I've jet skied a lot in Qatar because there's nothing much to do, so I have that option, and also in Thailand, and I think only those 2 places, but it doesn't give me that much of adrenaline, so I'll do it if there's nothing else to do.
Horse riding.
Horse riding, I've done it at home, I've done it in Turkey, I've done it, there's definitely some, Colombia, yeah. Again, not so much of an adrenaline activity, but it's nice.
What about surfing?
Surfing, I'm not good at surfing, but I love it. So I think I do surf when I'm home. I do try, obviously. And also I did go to Sri Lanka just to like really try surfing. So that was really nice. Yeah. I can say I'm like an intermediate surfer, but I still need someone to like guide me and stuff. Yeah, so.
Where was it in Sri Lanka? Where did you go surfing?
In Sri Lanka, it was a town or a city. I don't know, but it was called Weligama, like 2.5 hours away from, what's the main city again in Sri Lanka? Colombo. Yes. It's like down south. Okay. Yeah.
So it's a very famous surfing spot.
It is, and it was like a proper surfing school. So yeah, that was really, really nice. I would just wake up in the morning because I did rent a motorbike. I would wake up in the morning, just bike there, surf, and it's lunch by the beach, and that was pretty much my life for the whole week. So yeah, it was nice.
So you just say the next one, motor racing?
Not motor racing, no, I'm not that good. I am a good rider, but not to like race and stuff. I have a motorbike of my own, and I think when it comes to transport, that's the only thing that I would always like opt for. I don't like cars. I can't even see a nice car. Like, cars are just cars, but a motorbike, I would check them out. So I love motorbikes. I think they look nice, obviously, and they do give me that adrenaline when I ride them. Yeah.
What about climbing?
I've tried rock climbing. I do not really like indoors climbing because like you can't get a taller like building to climb. So I haven't really like gotten an opportunity to climb that much. I've climbed maybe twice, once in Brazil and once in Colombia again. Yeah. I really do like that activity, but I don't think it's like something that you can find anywhere that easily. So yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
Any other activity which I don't have on my list?
Like bungee jumping.
Oh yes. How much?
Well, I mean, last week in Barcelona was my 7th time. So yeah.
Seven times.
Yeah. Yeah. Bungee jumped twice at home, and I've jumped in Colombia. I've jumped in Peru. I've jumped in. I can't remember. Oh my god, I really cannot. I'm trying to think. I'm like, but I think like mostly it was Latin America and home. Yeah. Oh, in Costa Rica. I've jumped in Costa Rica as well. Yeah. But obviously, like the highest jump was home. So I love it.
But how do you make the bungee jumping different each time? Or you're looking for the exact same feeling, or is there a challenge every time in bungee jumping?
I think it depends. Like when I jump at home, obviously I've jumped only twice, or actually 3 times at home, sorry. And each time it feels different. It feels like I'm doing it for the first time just because I know it's very high and there's like higher risk of getting hurt, which is what I actually love. And the one that I did last week was only 70 meters. So I was only afraid for like 2 seconds. So it didn't really give me like the real thrill. So I didn't really enjoy it. Yeah, but anyway, like it just feels like the first time whenever I jump, and I love it.
When a city or country doesn't have nothing about adrenaline to do, what is your go-to activity? What do you enjoy to do?
I'll give you an example. Like last December, I went to Peru, and my aim obviously was to go to Cusco, where there's Machu Picchu and like all kinds of activities. And because the country they were striking, about the government and stuff, so I couldn't even get to Machu Picchu. I got stuck like on my way to. So that was not really nice, and I had to go back to the city, Lima, and there was nothing, obviously. And even the weather was not that good, like just like gloomy every day. So all I would do, I did make friends. Like I love karaoke. Like I'm not a good singer. I'm not bad, but I'm not good. But I would go to karaoke like anytime. So I would go to karaoke bars, and I would just maybe like go chill by the beach, as much as it wasn't like really nice because the weather was not great. And I'd go for a walk, or just like do what normal people do, like go to a supermarket, buy groceries, come back home, try to make food, watch TV, and just relax.
Wow, yeah, it's true that karaoke is also full of adrenaline. Yeah, did you catch that in China, or was it already from South Africa?
No, already from home. I love singing for whatever reasons, and sometimes people do say I'm good, which I do not believe, but I think I just enjoy singing. It makes me feel nice and good about myself. Yeah.
Is karaoke popular in Qatar as well? Because you just said that Qatar doesn't have a lot to offer.
Honestly, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's because I've never tried to like look for it, but I've never heard anyone talking about karaoke. Maybe I just assume they do not have. Maybe, I don't know, which is a good point. I'll ask when I get back.
About Valencia, what did you do in Valencia? Did you find some activities to make your stay worthwhile?
It was okay. No, I'm trying to think. Obviously, like there wasn't any thrilling activity that I did, but I did enjoy. I love waterfalls as well, so I did enjoy like going to that small town, which I can't really remember the name, but it wasn't like a huge waterfall, but it did make a difference. So it was nice to be there, and obviously I had 7 other people with me, which were good people, and we made conversations. And I think like the 2 other people, I made friends with them. They're from Australia, and they did say if ever I go there, I can visit them, which is nice. And what else did I do? Oh, I enjoyed. I'm not really a foodie, but paella was really nice. Like I'll remember it. And I mean, I'm here. is a new experience for me. Like I've never done a podcast like ever in my life, and I've never even thought of it, which is good. So it's something that I'll really like remember forever. And yeah, just walking around. The weather is not so great because it's really hot, but the evenings are nice, like to walk around. I think I do enjoy working, even if there's nothing much to do. Like if I just walk around, I feel good. So yeah. I forgot also, I did meet up with a friend. Well, I mean, she's a friend of my friend. My friend was not here, so I got to meet her. She's from Alicante. So she came just for one day to see me with her boyfriend, which was also really nice. Yeah, I had a good time.
So right now you're a science teacher, right? So you told me that you are thinking of changing, let's say, your job, your future, your career. Can you tell us more about this change coming up?
Yeah. So obviously, like I do love teaching. Like I really enjoy it. I think I love children. I've taught from kindergarten to year 12, and it feels obviously like it's different teaching like ABC, than teaching chemistry to a year 12 kid. But it's the same feeling of giving, which makes me feel so good about myself. And I think it's like whenever I see my kids progress, from where I start with them, it always makes me feel so good. So I love it so much. But I think at this point I am drained out, because for me teaching isn't really about just standing in front of the kids and tell them that, like this is how you do this, is how you do that. It's more of like a relationship. You have to understand them. You have to be not really friends with them, but you have to try put yourself in their shoes. And I think it's like so emotional that I have to give, which I do not mind giving, but I think at this point I'm just a bit drained out. I think I need a bit of a refill. Then afterwards, when I feel better, then I'll go back, because if I just go back to teaching now, I think it's going to be so selfish of me, just because I know I'm going to get paid, but I'm not really going to enjoy it, because I know like I'm not going to be there for the kids, like emotionally, and I think it's useless. So personal training, I think I've always, like the first time I stepped in the gym, I just thought this is the best place ever in the world, Like I know I did talk about adrenaline activities and stuff. They do make me feel good, like they make me feel alive. But I think the gym, it's a place for me where it's like therapy, like I'm able to talk to myself, like reorganize my thoughts and plan my life. It's so nice and it's so therapeutic, and you see everyone around you, they're so happy, and it's just a nice feeling. So that's what I want to do, because I think like there are other people that would love to, like everyone has to be like mentally healthy, and I think we have different ways of keeping our mentality like healthy. Some people go for a jog, some people go out partying and stuff. It just depends, but I do think that like the healthiest way is maybe the gym, or any kind of activity, But some people obviously like they do want to go to the gym, but they're not sure what to do, Like they're like, oh, I do want to go to the gym, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. So that's where I step in. And I think it's the same thing of when I see someone like progressing to another level, I'll feel good about myself. So yeah.
Do you see yourself in the future mixing both travel and physical fitness, like devising a way to get a job out of traveling and this activity?
Like job-wise, I've never thought that far. That's good. I'll take that home and think about it. But for me, if I go to also like a different country, I do try to go to the gym, or I'll try like something new. Like I did try hammer. It's like hammer something. It's like yoga, which isn't my style of like exercising, but I did try it and it was nice. And I know that I have to work on my flexibility. So I've learned that, and I've actually like went to Thailand solely just for going to this gym, like a CrossFit gym, for a week and a half, just to like exercise. And that was the only goal to go to Thailand for, just to go to the gym. So yeah, I would love to like go to countries and try different stuff, but I've never really thought of like doing it as a job. Although I do see myself in the future like having my own gym. I think that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Where would you open this gym?
I think it'll depend where I settle, because at the moment I have no idea. So yeah, I think it just depends. If I do get married, then I'll know. Okay, I'm settled in this country, and then yeah, I can do it. But for now, I can't do anything. Yeah.
Let's just get back to this Thailand CrossFit training. So it was international, I guess.
Yeah. When I was in China, I met this guy who told me about it, and then he was like, we're talking, and then he found out that I do love exercising, and then he's like, oh, you should go to Thailand, because he'd been there, and he told me it's like very nice and stuff, and I started following them on Instagram, and I was encouraged every time I would see their page. I'm like, I do want to go there. I'm also like not into CrossFit, but I mean, it's something to try and see, and I did enjoy it. Again, I'm not into CrossFit, but it was nice. Yeah.
When you travel to a new city, you are looking out for the gyms there. You try to, in order to keep your mental and physical fitness going.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's important. Like for me, I don't really work out to look a certain way. Not that I don't care, but it's not like my primary goal. Like I just have to be mentally fit, and because I think maybe now I'm used to it, to a point where if I don't go to a gym for a certain period of time, I just like my brain doesn't work. I feel like it's just like clogged out. So I need it's like therapy. When people go to therapy, they know like how it feels like when you're not going to therapy anymore. You can't process anything, and I think it is important for me to just go to the gym. So whenever I go to a place, I try.
Something completely different now. What's always in your baggage when you travel, in your luggage?
Like clothes?
Or except something curious, something which is always there?
Something that's always there? No, I'm not like that. I think it's like, honestly, it's just clothes. Yeah, there's not, well, I mean, like, you'll find more gym stuff than
that's it.
the normal clothes, like, yeah, I'll pay, like half my suitcase will be like gym stuff as compared to just like normal clothes. So yeah, maybe that's one thing that's a bit off, but yeah,
always ready for the gym, for the physical activity, for bungee jumping.
I always have, also I play football. yeah, so I always like carry like shorts and a t-shirt in case I find a group I can play football with, and I just join them. Yeah.
Where was the last place you played football?
Which is not in Qatar, where I'm at the moment. When I was in Peru last December, I did find a team and would go play every Thursday. So yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So even if you travel solo, you're never lonely, right? There's always some way to integrate with the people around you.
Yeah. I'll say that's true. Like as I've said, like it's whatever that goes in the city, I'll join. Yeah.
So once you are done with Valencia, which I think is tomorrow, where are you going? What are you going to do?
I'm gonna go to Madrid for, I think it's 4 or 5 days. I don't know. I'm gonna leave Madrid on Sunday. I also just booked a few days because I heard Madrid is just a big city and there's nothing much going on. So I literally have no plans at all. Yeah, I'll see when I get there tomorrow.
Well, it might be even more hot than here, so get prepared for that.
I'm gonna die.
A little bit. And after Madrid, you go home to Qatar? Or?
No. After Madrid, I'm gonna go to Portugal. Not really sure at the moment for how long, but I've only booked for 1 week, which is till the 23rd. And I could stay longer. It will depend, because before I go to Qatar, I want to see my friend in Germany. So also at this point, she's not that flexible. I have to see, like, whenever she has time, then I'll go see her before I leave.
Any surfing in Portugal, maybe? Nazareth?
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course. I saw an Airbnb because I was checking for like things to do, and surfing was like everywhere. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna surf every day. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. Do you manage a social account in order to show your activities or something like this?
I do have a personal, obviously, account, Instagram, and I do post like whatever that I do, and mostly like it's when I'm looking dirty and stuff. And I do now have a gym Instagram, which was started by one of my friends because she was like, oh, she actually was the one who encouraged me to just go for this. She was like, you good? Because I tried training her, and then she told me that no, I'm good. She thinks that I should try and do this, and she opened the account for me, and she did handle it for a few months, and afterwards I think she got tired, so I took over. Yeah.
But who knows, for the future it might come handy when you're starting to develop your business, maybe.
100%. Yeah, it will. Yeah, and also like one of my friends, the one in Barcelona, she is. This is so funny because I don't really know what she does, but I know that she does like web pages and social media and stuff. I can literally ask her to do whatever like that has to do with social media or like internet, and she'll go for it. So I know my Instagram is not looking good at the moment. It's not that professional, so I've hired her. She's gonna start on my page on Monday, so I'm excited for that as well.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
Speaking of your friends, is there someone in your circle of friends which you would recommend for this podcast? Someone who is a traveler, an avid traveler, who is always on the move and who would have something to share with the world through my podcast?
Yes. Most of my friends, like, they do travel, but one person I know, like, even myself, I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Like 1 week he's here and then another week he's somewhere else. His name is Peter. He's from Serbia. And I think the past few weeks I've been seeing him in like Mexico. Another time he was in Panama, and he was in some country in Central America. I can't remember. So yeah, I think I do love traveling, but he's on another level. So yeah.
So you think he would accept to be on my podcast if we ask him?
Of course. Yeah, of course. Like he'll go for it.
Okay. I might try to contact Peter then. Also, since you're a teacher, are you trying sometimes to convey this importance of traveling to your pupils?
Not really. I think like traveling is just something that's personal. Like some people are not really in for it, and also like even if people do travel, we all travel for like different reasons, So I don't really like preach to people that they should travel. It is good for me because it helps me like again mentally. I think I have a problem with settling in a place for too long. I think it's just like the routine thing. It doesn't work well for my brain. If I know what's gonna happen, I really stress out. So that's why even like I know in the future when I have a gym, I know also like I'll never stop teaching. I'll have to find a way, but I'm not working towards any of those goals. Like when it happens, it's gonna happen. I think it's nice for me to just like be spontaneous and not knowing what's going on. It's a nice surprise, and yeah.
By the way, do you come from a family of big travelers, or do your brothers, sisters, parents travel a lot?
Not really. No, my father actually like stopped talking to me for almost a year when I moved to China. Yeah, because for him, like, he just likes to see his family like with him all the time. It's like that love that is quite possessive, So yeah, he's not really happy. Well, obviously, like I think the past 2 years has been okay because he understands that this is what I love, and it works for me. So he is supporting now, but before that, he just didn't buy any of the stuff I was doing, and also the activities I would do, he was never really happy about them. So yeah. Just in my family, everyone is just normal. I'm just the only person that went on the left side. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, Primrose, thank you very much for all these insights into your life, into your travels, into your future.
I'll say, like, obviously, thank you for this experience because, like I did say, when I travel, I do look for new experiences. And, like when you do something for the first time, you always remember. So I'll forever remember this moment. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much. And I'm sure that in the future you might have your own podcast, and I hope so. And can't wait for your future business, your future social media, and all the best.
Thank you so much.